Solar Warlocks, this is your season. If you're looking for a build that can safely destroy the hardest of enemies in Legend, Master or even Grandmaster content from afar, constantly stun locking them with infinite headshots that proc explosions and ignitions, which then spread Scorch, causing a chain reaction of explosions, then this is the build for you. This build was already strong last season, but it's even more powerful this season thanks to the artifact mods, which take it to a whole new level. In this build we have infinite Radiant, which gives us 25% extra damage in PvE, and it allows us through our artifact mods to spread Scorch. We also have infinite restoration, and not just normal restoration, but restoration times 2, which lets you tank basically anything in the game. And then we theoretically have infinite ammo in our magazine, meaning we can constantly headshot and ignite our enemies, all from 100 meters away from a safe distance. I've not even unlocked the final artifact column yet, which causes even more ignition, and it's still absolutely destroying everything. Another incredible thing about this build is that your one main weapon can take care of both anti-barrier and unstoppable champions by itself without the need for any artifact mods, so you can legitimately cover all 3 champion types with this build, meaning it's absolutely amazing for solo, or your teammates will absolutely love you for it. Dim link for the build will be in my Discord, link for which will be in the comments or description below. So the exotic combination that allows you to pull all this off is the exotic Warlock helmet Dawn Chorus and the exotic scout rifle Polaris Lance. Dawn Chorus essentially improves your Scorch so it deals 200% more damage, and each tick provides you with 5% melee energy. Now there's 2 main ways to apply Scorch with this build. The first is through Polaris Lance, whereby hitting 4 precision shots, and these do not need to be consecutive, causes you to load an explosive round into your magazine. With Ember of Ashes, this applies 60 Scorch, and in previous seasons with 2 of these explosive rounds, you would reach 100 stacks of Scorch and trigger an ignition. This season, however, thanks to our artifact perk Kindling Trigger, we actually apply Scorch instantly to our enemy when we're radiant, and with Ember of Ashes this applies 45 Scorch. But why this is significant is because it means our very first explosive round will now trigger an ignition. You're literally causing an ignition every single time. Before we needed a way to get radiant, which was usually through our melee, but now it's even more seamless because our second artifact perk, Flint Striker, causes us to become radiant when we apply rapid precision hits. Why this is perfect? Because for Polaris Lance, this is 4 precision hits, and then on that 5th shot, which is your explosive round, you'll apply Scorch through Kindling Trigger first, and then it will explode shortly after to apply more Scorch and instantly cause that ignition. The synergy here is so perfect that you may as well name this season the season of Polaris Lance. That's how good it is. Every class on Solar, Warlock, Hunter, Titan will feel great with Polaris, but because of Dawn Chorus, I do think Warlocks just about have the edge. We also get Infinite Radiant, both thanks to Flint Striker, which keeps refreshing our Radiant buff on stronger enemies with rapid Solar precision hits, and through our Fragment, Ember of Empyrean, whereby any Solar weapon or ability kill will extend our timer. And then Warlocks have the easiest access to Restoration times 2, which is 50 HP per second of healing, whereas Restoration times 1 is only 35 HP per second. Touch of Flame means your grenade now grants you Restoration times 2 instantly, and then again with Ember of Empyrean we can quickly extend it for truly infinite healing. Let's go over the rest of our Solar build. For your super, you actually have a little bit of choice here. Dawn Chorus does make Daybreak viable even for harder content as an aggressive super, as it makes your Daybreak projectiles apply Scorch, which will then trigger ignitions, and the projectiles just hit harder with the exotic. But honestly, you can still run Well of Radiance, and my preference would be to do just that for the harder content, because this is a primary focus build and you'll be getting your super back very quickly with it. Use whatever glide you want. I run Celestial Fire because it actually has very good range and you'll be able to hit enemies with it from afar. With our artifact perk Revitalizing Blast, you can actually use this to weaken enemies before using your Polaris Lance. Healing Grenade, I already mentioned Touch of Flame for that Restoration times 2. For your second aspect, it is your choice, but I prefer Icarus Dash for the mobility, and using Heat Rises in harder content just gets you killed more often. In terms of fragments, we have Ember of Empyrean, which extends our Restoration and Radiant timers. Ember of Ashes, which is absolutely key for making your Scorch stacks more potent, allowing you to ignite way more often. Ember of Char, which spreads Scorch on ignitions and causes chain reactions of ignitions. And then finally Ember of Blistering, whereby on ignition kills, you gain back a good chunk of your grenade energy, which is super useful to restarting your restoration times 2 buff when you run out. I don't run Ember of Torches because our artifact perks are enough to start Radiant this season. For your stats, the only requirement is 100 resilience for that damage resist, and then 100 discipline is also nice for more healing grenades, but it's by no means necessary. As this is a weapons focused build, you can get away with just 100 resilience. For your mods, I run Harmonic Siphon so I can generate orbs of power with Polaris Lance kills, Heavy Ammo Finder and Scout so we generate more heavy bricks for both ourselves and our teammates. On my gloves I run 2 impact inductions and 1 focusing strike so we gain back both grenade and class ability energy for causing damage with our melee. The relevant resistance mods on my chest piece, and then on your boots you want to run 2 innovation and 1 absolution so you get that healing grenade back as soon as possible. On my cloak I run 1 reaper which generates more orbs of power, 1 powerful attraction and 1 bomber as well. You don't need many mods to gain back melee energy in this build because Dawn Chorus takes care of that anyway. Because Radiant lets you deal with anti-barrier and Ignitions lets you deal with unstoppable champions, if you equip one other weapon like an auto rifle or pulse rifle this season, you'll be able to take care of all 3 champion types. The artifact perks you definitely want for this build are Kindling Trigger, Flint Striker, Torch, Heart of Flame if you're running Daybreak, Revitalizing Blast, and then Rays of Precision for even more ignition on ad clear. So there you have it, my Season 23 Dawn Chorus Polaris Lance build that absolutely shreds the hardest of content, whether you're in a team or you're solo. Constant ignitions and stun locking champions, infinite restoration, make sure you're covered in every single way. If you enjoyed what I talked about today, remember to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Destiny builds, both PvE and PvP. I'm Mr. On It, and that's it for today. Peace out, guys.